Buddy the dog. What are you doing, pal? He's enjoying the sunshine and all the puddles of water that he can splash in and get dirty. I'm not sure if it's gonna start raining here in a minute or what, but that wouldn't surprise me with the way it's been going. Anywho, Buddy the dog here is gonna watch the place whilst I go on another adventure, and I'm taking you people with me. So we're gonna get started right after this. All right, friends, welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and we're going on an adventure in the form of another auction. It's the day before. Look at that lake there. Yeah, that's how much it's rained. But we're gonna go check it out. What it amounts to is, I'm not even sure what it's called or who's putting it on. It's a consignment auction that's up at the it's at the Greensburg Fairgrounds, but I think that's Decatur County. Yeah, okay. It's Decatur County Fairgrounds, and it's a consignment, a March consignment auction, it says. And friends, I found out about it because a buddy of mine who was at that auction where I bought the 1255, he saw this in the Farm World paper, and he said, hey, he said, I don't know what it looks like because I didn't see, obviously in a paper, they don't have pictures, but he said, it says they had a cockshut plow, and he said, that might be right up your alley. So I got on the internet and I looked at the thing, the full gallery of pictures, and there's a lot of stuff at this sale that might be right up my alley, but there's one thing that I just absolutely think is the cutest, and I shouldn't even go look because we don't need to be buying more, but I'm gonna go anyway, and we'll see, you know, what it looks like. We may or may not go back to buy, but, you know, we're gonna at least go check it out today because people seem to like the auction type videos. It's actually pretty warm outside, so I don't think my super cheap super air conditioner is doing the thing anymore, so that's fine. We will roll the window down and live life, but we're gonna head up there, and it takes probably about 45 minutes or more for me to get there from my house, probably an hour, so depending on how traffic goes. So that's what we're gonna do, and I will bring you back as soon as we get there, and we'll look at all the treasures. It's a military convoy. Maybe that's why the state trooper pulled over a while ago. I thought I was had. He passed me this way and slammed on his brakes and went in the shoulder, and I thought I'm about to get it for something, but he never followed me, so whatever. We should be almost there, I think. I don't have the map turned on, but it's not, I don't think it's too much farther. It's right off the highway here, so just got to keep trucking along. I have to say, this is quite the collection of stuff. It takes both sides of the road, so we're probably going to be here a while, but that's okay. I had to just find a place to run off the road here, and I hope that's good enough. Here we have some type of rotary hoe, IH rotary hoe, and a McCormick Deering manure spreader. Probably hasn't been spreading manure in its last life. New Holland 488 hay bine. I'd hate to say how many of them things were around back in the day. There's a grain elevator, just like mine almost, except not quite. This one's a tandem, and this one has the gates that I wish mine had, where you could close it and let the auger run empty, which is the big flaw of the one I got. And then it's got these, I can make it, mine's got holes in there where you could put this stuff, but yeah, that's something I wish that I had. See how they did it. It's just like a curtain. That one isn't even working that great. I think back in its day it would have went a little bit more up. However, this one is maybe a little past its, there we go. Yeah, that's how you could get it all the way open if you wanted it. But you know what I'm saying. That could be made to happen. We just have to spend some time. We're going to be working on mine anyway because it's got a problem. But there's a little Westfield auger. The dealer for them's right across the road on the highway, so sure. New idea manure spreader, which you see a million of these. That one needs a floor. Cousin called me looking for parts for one the other day, so here it is. Bring cash. John Deere disc. I think that's a John Deere. Did I read that right? Yeah, JD. Sunflower finishing tool. Another AGCO product. There's a tool bar. DMI knife bar. Everybody else that's looking at it is just driving around. That's probably the smart thing to do, but for you, the viewer, I'm on foot. Another applicator with end transport. That's kind of neat. A half-fold disc. It's a farmhand grinder mixer. We watched that one bring 15,000 at the auction a few weeks ago. This one's a little bit more worn in, but hey. J&M wagon. Lots of them. Lots of J&M wagons around. JD ground drive spreader. It's still got some of the writing on it. McCormick Deering ground drive spreader. Another knife bar. Kiowani elevator. They're getting hard to find if you want one that's good. That one's gonna need some work. 1210A grain cart. There's another thing I wouldn't mind to have. And you say, why a John Deere? Well, they're made by United Farm Tools and you can still get parts. So some of the grain carts you cannot get parts for. So yep. Got some bulk bins here. There's a brilliant finishing tool. Pretty heavy built, looks like to me. John Deere cultivator. Boy, how far does this go? It surely doesn't go all the way down there, does it? I don't know. Probably not. I think that's for their antique show. There's some kind of a hay bind. Wasn't paying attention. New Holland, $4.79. Backhoe attachment. An anhydrous gear. There's a Gale. That's neat. That's like a feed wagon. That I wouldn't mind to have either. That's about right up my alley too. The right size. Huh. Henniker field cultivator. I used one of those one time. I wasn't super impressed with it, but it did the job. It's a little drag disc. International. Little noodler feed wagon. Dial-a-mix, huh? not climbing up there, so I'll watch it on video later. It's got a hydraulic unload auger though, huh? Or what, hydraulic swing, I guess. Huh. Oh, silly me. It's not hydraulic from the tractor. It's hydraulic somehow like this, which I'd say that probably hasn't been done for a while. So yeah, some tanks. I'd say what I'm interested in is probably across the road, because that's how life works, you know. If you start in one place, it's bound to be in the other place. So yeah, there's a knife-in deal. It's almost, I wonder if that was one of the ones that sold this last fall. There were two at that auction. They are what they are. I saw this too. This is a later 5100 splitter attachment. Oh no, it's not. It's a 5700 3-point mount. I didn't look at the picture real close. So, you know, another thing for parts. Would you want it for parts? Would you want it for using, you know? That one's got those Hiller attachment, like row cleaners, like the old Oliver planters had. They worked good. I mean, they would flip the trash out of the way. So, come back here and look at this M. I was looking at it, and then that guy got right up close, so I guess he needed to see it worse than I did. But I don't know if it's a runner or not. Looks like it could be. Not running, stuck in gear. Also, it's been loved on pretty hard right there. Didn't start, so the guy just let it have it. That's about the right shape, huh? I wouldn't want to mess with that guy. I like that seat. Take a look at that, friends. Don't have all the pieces you need? Make it. That's something. Let's go back over here and pick up wherever we were. That's really too nice of a planter to part out, but I don't know how many people really want a 3-point mount job. Bunch of augers. Augers just usually don't bring a lot on auctions, consignment auctions, because they're difficult to move, you know, pull it down the road. And average Joe farmer, that's what you would do, because he's not going to want to take it all apart. It'd be easier to haul all in pieces strapped down to the deck of the trailer, but yeah, I wonder if some of these aren't from that dealer across the road, like trade-ins, and he just brought them over here to get rid of. Some of them look nice. I mean, this is a pretty big capacity auger. I don't know what this is, a 12? Or is it bigger than that? I'm not good at the judging of it, but that's pretty good size auger there. 4200 serial number, I guess. It's not the model number. 13-inch, 71 feet long. I guess there's overflow over here. Let's go take a look at this. I hope the wind noise isn't bad, but there's nothing I can do about it, friends. I don't have a way to stop that other than walk backwards whenever it's facing us and stop it. There's a, I guess, international head and a, what's this, a Kraus something or other? Landsman. A Landsman finishing tool. That probably goes with it. There's a Kiowani. That one looks like maybe you could oil it up and start using it. It looks like maybe somebody loved it a little bit. And I think they got an electric motor on it under that tub. disc chisel. I don't know that I've ever seen a John Deere one of those. There's a little 12 shank chisel plow. A Brady, maybe. And here's a little something. Little IH disc, 10-foot disc. I bet that'll bring a lot. People like these little size discs for your homesteaders and hobby farm folks, you know. It's hard to find a nice small one because people have cut them all up already, you know. Let's go back this way until somebody probably comes out here and yells at me and says you can't do this, but that's fine. And a pretty nice looking fuel tank on a skid. Brand new cord on it. There's an animal trailer. That's another thing I wish we had back when we did hogs, because I think it would have made things easier. But we didn't. We just did it however. There's a land leveler, or whatever you want to call it. That's another thing. It's awkward to move, but I bet it'll bring good money. Because I don't know how big it is, but that's a manageable size one. I can't see what it is. Automatic land leveler and hydraulic scraper. The Eversman Manufacturing Company. Sure. DMI applicator there. Pretty good size. IH corn head. There's a harrow like that. Makes you wonder, was this at that auction a couple weeks ago? It looks kind of like that one of them, doesn't it? I'd have to go back and watch the video to be for sure. DMI field cultivator. It's another thing. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those sell. Good size Hardy sprayer. Another thing here I'd like to have, a brilliant Culta mulcher or Culta packer. I don't know what you want to call it. People call them all different names, but I thought that'd be something to have for older tractors to play with. It's an IH grain drill. Is that one of those soybean special drills or whatever people would use? I don't know. Yeah, it says soybean special 5100. IH corn head. It's got some wear on it, but you could probably take it out there and go. Another pair of DMI wagons. Some forage choppers. Pole type deer and a self-propelled deer. Gale, I think, is this one. And 3 heads. Yeah. Some wagons. I've worked on a few wagons before. It's a lot of fun. Sure. I don't know if they had as much rain as we had or not. This is kind of cool. I saw this in the pictures. This is a self-propelled Gale chopper, and that is kind of neat. I don't know if that's the original power unit that it would have had on it with a flathead Continental, if that vintage is outright, or if somebody put that on later after the original crapped out. But you know, that's pretty darn neat, I think. And it's probably going to end up in the scrapyard. You know, that's the sad part, because I bet with a little tinkering, I bet you could use it. It's a Crotch Chop All 2R self-propelled chopper, Continental, not running, but it doesn't look like it was left outside to die, you know. It looks like you could probably tinker with it and will it run? I don't know. I don't want to cut my hand. Oh, no, it's not stuck. Not stuck. You could be chopping this fall with it. Probably won't be me, but you never know. There's a silage bagger. You don't often see them come up for sale, so I would not know what that would bring. But yeah, here's an Allis-Chalmers rigid frame disc, and I don't know that I've ever seen one like this either. Most all Allis discs I've ever seen were the half fold ones, or the 2500 model, or the snap coupler kind, like the older, way older. So I don't know. This is probably maybe the vintage of like your 190s, 200s. I don't know. Never seen one quite like that before. Very simple construction. I mean, they kept the cost down to flat plates and square bars and drill some holes at an angle and boulder together. There's a ripper, a tie ripper. There's a pretty long trailer here, fifth wheel trailer. Take off mud flaps. Two of them. That one's a little steeper to get up, I think, but I'm not here for trailers. I shouldn't be here at all, because it's as soon as I see the thing I saw in the pictures, I'm gonna fall in love with it. And yeah, dozers, excavators. I need to get into these because I know they're popular videos and I could definitely use some, but I'm just not quite there yet, but we'll get there, I promise. What is this, an Allis? This is a different... Or is this a cat? An old cat. Doesn't really look like one. Direct electric starting instructions. It says Heister there, but I'd say that was just a winch. I don't know what that is. You'll have to leave that in the comments if you know. I thought maybe it looked Allis-Chalmers-ish. But what do I know? You know? There's really no identifying marks on it. There's a serial number plate. I can't read that. I think it looks like it says Thanksgiving. I don't know. Tractivator. I don't know. Little mini excavator. They got their place, but if on a farm, I'd just as soon have a big full-size track hoe, because I think you'd get more out of it than a mini. Okay, let's... How do we want to attack this? Both sides at once, go back and forth. Allis-Chalmers minimum till. That looks like maybe a Great Plains vertical tillage. That's another thing I know I wouldn't mind having, but that'll bring 50,000-60,000 bucks probably. They usually pretty proud of them. Looks like a Great Plains, but I don't know. Let's just jump back and forth so I don't have to walk more than once. What do we got here? A DMI something or other? Like a disc ripper or something? No, DMI Ecolo Tiger. Sure. There's a Land Commander. Brilliant. Disc ripper or whatever. And John Deere 7000 planter. We've seen a boatload of those. Sure. Looks like it's got all the goodies with it if you need it. Phillips rotary harrow, huh? I'm sure when you need one of those, it's probably super handy, but I don't know that I need one of those. So, sure. Great Plains sprayer. Don't see a lot of them, as many as you do of Hardee's and other brands. And there's another Turbo Max vertical tillage tool. That one looks a lot newer. or at least they've put some newer stuff on it. All new blades, looks like. Never been to the field. There's a hydraulic bush hog. Adjustable gangs, rolling spikes, hydraulic rear wheel, new blades, 24-inch. Sure. Here we got a wing fold disc of some variety. Let's go back and see if it says what it is. A Kiowani. They used to be real big down here, but you know, that went away. There's probably a Hardy sprayer, I would venture to guess. All the stickers are gone pretty well. There's another Ecolo Tiger. That must have been a popular thing up here. I don't know that we had any of these around home. There's a little front folding planter. That's kind of unusual too. To see, what is that, an 8-row? Yeah, 8-row front fold. Huh. That definitely keeps the transport width down, but interesting. There's some, looks like Kinsey parts maybe. We'll jump back over here. Take a look at this big versatile Ford. That's definitely a horse. 946. I worked on one of these when I worked at the dealer, or the shop there we worked on for a guy. We had to put a transmission in it, and the only way you could get it out was to come up through the floor of the cab and out the door. It was a trick. This could be that same one. I don't know. I don't know that it would have any identifying marks on it, other than that this is the style hose crimp we used. So that could very well be the one. I don't know. That's been a long time ago when we worked on it. There's a 750 drill. 1780 planter. That's a little, that's like an inner planter. A 6 with a 7-inch split, or 6 with a 5 split. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 611. Yeah, 6 and 5. Not a bad planter if you're into deers. There's an applicator. Case IH. Kinsey pivot planter. It's a 7120. One owner retired. 1991 model. How about that? Kinsey planter. 3600. There's a fair bit of, now we can walk through it, I don't care. Whilst we're here. But there's a fair bit of parts for different things that a guy could make something of, you know, if he wanted to. Nothing that can't live without, or at least I can't live without. We'll catch that row on the way out of here, because we'll yeah, there's stuff across the road still we haven't looked at, but there's a bunch of your smalls, some chainsaws. What size is that one? 680, 660. Whole bunch of oil filters, tub O filters there, friends. Cylinders and pressure washers and pumps, jacks, some wheel spacers, squeeze pump. Theirs would be a dandy pallet to have, but it looks like they'll sell them one at a time. But those are those quick hitches for stuff like you'd use on when you're doing wagons, like chopping silage and stuff, and they're super expensive new. Interesting. Some rims. They got their own kind of bevel though. I saw this too in the picture. One of this year's projects is I want to get a PTO generator, and I can have the electric company rig it up where I can just flip a switch and then run my own power if I have to. But this one's too small. It's only a 20,000 kilovolt, or however you read that. I want one that's at least 25, if not bigger. Let's go over here and look at some tractors. There's people looking at that small stuff. So $49.55, $47.55. I don't think I've ever seen either one of those before. Interesting. There's a 7080. This place is kind of on a hill. We're trusting a lot on old brakes and park to hold stuff up. 2950 Deere, 4020 diesel. I still haven't seen the thing that I saw that I'm looking for. Oh, it's coming up here. 5000 Ford. 231 Massey. And then this little sweetheart. Look at this. A Cockshut 20. This is the plow that the friend was messaging me about, but it very obviously is the vintage that would go with these true Cockshut built tractors. And this is another one that I really have wanted one, because of when I was a kid, a guy had one that we knew real well. And I just wonder if this wouldn't be the same one, because it sold at an auction and went away, but I don't remember if enough identifying features on it to know. It does have an Oliver gauge in it, which would work out right because our dealer sold it to him. But the story goes, it actually came from the same guy that VAC case we have comes from. And he told me the story because he worked at the feed mill and we'd go in twice a week sometimes. But he said he knew of a guy who owned this, or I don't know that this one, but a 20 just like this, the one that he had. The guy owned it, and he said it was taken care of good, and said he just liked that little tractor. So he told the salesman that we had, said, hey, said, if that guy would ever trade that in for any reason, let me know, because I want to buy it. And he said it was either that afternoon or the next day, I can't remember, but he said it was sitting in his driveway. And he said the salesman said, oh, I went out there and traded him a different tractor so you could get that one. So that's how our salesman was. He made her happen. So it would be neat if this was the one, and it would also be neat if I could buy it, but I really don't need to buy more tractors. But man, that's just right, exactly what I want. Like condition wise, you wouldn't be afraid to use it. $12,400, 24 rears, PTO new water pump and battery. I mean, he had it painted about like my VAC case, so this is a very similar looking paint job, you know. And that guy that bought it would have been from up around here at one time. So this is why I might come back, but I just can't hardly get there. I just bought one that was more than what I thought I was gonna pay. I can't buy two, can I? One every month. It's got great tires on it though, look at that. And they're actually old tires, but good. That one on the other side was a co-op. This one is too, co-op tires. That is a little sweetheart. If it wasn't on a hill, I'd start it up, but I don't want to be responsible when it rolls away and takes out a pickup, so. And this plow, look at this original paint plow probably. Well, maybe not. Looks like they might have painted on the wheel. You can still read some of the stickers though. And it's hard to find a Cockshut plow because they've all been scrapped. But this is a pretty easy way to tell one. They had a really long spindle on their wheels. So Pretty neat. There's a 184 International. Basically a cub lowboy. There's some mowers, and there goes the Schmidt house. Some zero turns, grasshoppers. There's a woods mowing machine. Sure. Some of those. All kinds of little farm store ATVs, like, and some golf carts. Yeah. Then we got some stuff here. I'm getting lazy already, so I don't really want to walk all the way back and forth. Grapple. Head chute, that's another thing I wouldn't mind having. A decent one, not a crap one, you know, like you see at some places. Because I'm working by myself is what I'm getting at, you know. DMI wagon. Big square baler. New Holland. BR 960. There's a 348 Deere. I don't remember what it brought the other day, friends, but there's another one. There's a V-rake. John Deere even. Some wagons. John Deere running gear. I don't know what this one is. Don't really want to. Hay wagon on Kiowani gear. Hay tedder. That looks like a bale wrapper. That would be handy too if you wanted to keep your bale super nice, but it's also a lot of work, and then you got to deal with the plastic when you're done. So I don't know. Kiowani wagon. Coon tedder. New Holland baler 273. There's a rake. Needs some attention. Drive shaft is off. Maybe they did that to pull it down the road. I bet they did. So it wasn't turning the stuff. I don't know. It's had a wheel attachment made for it. Another probably Kiowani wagon. Deere side delivery rake. What's that? I don't know. Corsicana? Don't know. Must have been a good DMI dealer up this way, because there's tons of these here. Heston, just like the one I got basically, except older. Mine says Heston, Agco Heston, and this one's Fiat Agri, so a little older. 355. That's pretty well like Dad's. 535 Deere. And some type of something attachment for something. A flail attachment for something. Big Blue Stores wagon. Big Blue gravity wagon on easy trail gear. Grapple. Big Kilbros wagon. Deere wagon flatbed. Whole bunch of quick hitches. Some of them probably That one's a factory case, looks like. I don't know what that would be. IH factory quick hitch? Or, I don't know. Don't ask me. Let's go back and try to hit the part we didn't see. Then I can walk by that tractor one more time and convince myself to own it. That's probably not going to happen, but I'm also pretty stupid and have the iron disease pretty bad. So it's pretty easy to talk myself into, you know, skipping lunch for the next 6 months to buy more toys. But that is just a cute little feller. Yeah. Do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. There's no way though, probably. I mean, it's a hard enough to find antique tractor. There'll be enough competition up here. There's too many bigger shows around this area. Some tanks and stuff down there. Here's one of the Cushmans just like I got. I saw that too. Wouldn't mind having that for parts. It's probably actually better than the one I've got. The one I got's not running right now. I just bought some stuff to work on it here the other day. That's going to be a video coming up because I miss it. That was a super handy little buggy. A lot more than the electric powered cart. Another woods mowing machine. Some farrowing crates, most possibly. 8-foot farrowing crates. All kinds of little attachment things. Little trailer. Land Pride mower. There's a bale thrower. Some fuel tanks with steps. Ventilation fans. Big auger. Pretty good sized blade. There's some 15 538s on double bevel rims. Except they got the bumps. So that wouldn't work for the old style centers, but look at all these weights. Moline Dan wheel weights. Moline wheel weights. Lots of them. I'll buy them and then I'll mail them to him one at a time. That would be cheap, right? All kinds of weights. The Tafco, or Tafco, I learned about that. That's a company that made reproduction weights. My cousin's got some Oliver suitcase weights made by them. There's some Oliver wheel spacers. I've got several sets of those. Roll bar. Some plow coulters. King cutter bush hog. We'll go over here now, catch that little in, and then go back across the road to the other pile, and then we'll go home. Actually, no, I don't think home. We're not that far from a Red Lobster, and it's been a while since I've been at a Red Lobster, and that might end today. We might have to make it today. We'll see how I feel when I'm done walking here. It's a whole pile of hoses if a guy needed air hoses. Bin spreaders. Lots of planter parts here. It almost looks like every guy took off his old planter parts and brought them up here to get rid of them. Because there's a lot of that stuff here. I don't know what to expect here either. Maybe there's good deals to be had. I don't know how many years they've done this. But one thing is for sure. they have quite the collection of stuff, a good variety, which should in theory draw a crowd. So, you know, that's how that goes. And this is actually a nice place to have it because you can park the stuff along the driveways, and then nobody has to get tromping through the mud, you know. The grounds doesn't have to get tore up because it's all, you know, you can stay on the driveway the whole time. There's some trailers, some later model trucks, pretty clean. Some of you probably want me to take more time looking these over, but I see they're running caution tape, and I hope they don't tape my truck in there because I'll go through it. I'm going out one way or the other. But there is a neat thing to see over here that was probably a later addition maybe to the sale, and that is, well, a truck like ours but a different color, but a 7580 Allis-Chalmers. That's pretty cool. I mean, there were some of these around home. They're really tall though. That would be my beef with one versus like my whites, which are low down. The cab floor on mine is about right here, and look at how far, you know, that's another foot or two higher. They use drop boxes in here, I believe, to get everything the right speed, so that which that solves one problem. That solves the problem of that one screaming the whole time. Like on mine, the engine speed one is screaming at full speed, you know. So this would eliminate that problem, but I think they had a lot of drop box problems that they had to work on. I know the place that I worked at, they worked on a bunch of these, sold a bunch too. And I guess this one might have the 426 if I'm right, but I think the bigger one has a unique motor, the what was it, an 8550. It had a totally different engine. There is a R62, a bunch of these around too, still are. I like the cabs on these to run, but the rest of the combine, I don't know if I'd get along with it or not. It just, there's a lot of stuff on it. I've worked on them though. The rotor is crossways in there, so the crop comes in, accelerates up, and then goes to, well, the GoPro must have got too hot or whatever, but anyway, the rotor's up there, and then all your crop comes out to one side, and whatever, I mean, it works, but that's why you get this spreader here, to make sure that the stuff gets distributed evenly, because you'll have a bigger pile on one side than the other, because that's where the rotor comes out. But I mean, I would own one of these if I could find one for the right deal. They're super nice to run. Like I said, the cab is roomy, excellent, really good, and there's a bunch of them out there, so you know you could still find parts. But yeah, old tandem, just about like mine, except this one's got a wooden stock rack bed on it. Another Omaha standard. It's got the bed like my old 600 Ford, but this one's probably hydraulic brakes. Yep. Whoops. Okay, that was a mistake, opening the door. You gotta lift it about 6 inches. Tiny motor in this one. Little V8. Or it looks little in there. Might be a 460, but I don't think so. I think it's probably a 351. Huh. Interesting, friends. Interesting. But time will tell. I'll think on it tonight if I even want to come back. I mean, I really don't need to be buying more stuff, but you guys have watched that other video with the front wheel assist one. a good amount of times already, and it's chipping away at what I spent that day. So keep watching the videos, friends, because that definitely makes a big difference, and it's helpful to all the YouTube creators. You know, watch them as long as you can stand it. Watch the commercials if you can stand it. All that kind of stuff helps the creators. And I mean, if you're watching it on a TV, it's not that much different than just watching TV, you know, commercial here and there. But we'll see if I come back, and I doubt that I can have 2 successes in a row with auction buys, so I don't know. We'll see. So there's a lot of dealers of things along this highway, but here is a New Holland dealer, and they also are the ones I think that are the Landall dealer that I get the stuff from all the time. I don't know that I've ever been there. Dad has run and got stuff for me before, but that's there. Then up ahead here somewhere is the dealer that sells those Westfield augers, and then there's a John Deere dealer up there. So a lot of stuff out here in the middle of the country, but I mean, it is along a highway, but just interesting. There's the Deere dealer. Koenig equipment, maybe? I don't know. I can't see. Yeah. John Deere dealer. Lots of traffic. I don't know why. It's not really time yet, but sure. And there's a whole yard full of brand new Westfield augers. I don't know if that shows up or not, but they're out there, friends. Some grain dryers. Buddy the dog, where are you going? Huh? Running away? No, I guess he doesn't want to say hello this morning. But I'm gonna head out. Doesn't look like a smart thing to do because there is a line of storms all the way. It looks like pretty well all day. Some of them heavy thunderstorms. But, and also I realized that they have online bidding on equipment facts, so I wouldn't have to go in person. But for you, the viewer, I will do things. Buddy the dog, what do you think? Can you handle holding down the fort here while we go try to make more poor decisions? I got so much stuff in my hands I can't hardly reach you, but that's okay. We will head out and see what we find. The good thing is it's at a fairground, so there's lots of shelter and stuff in case it starts pouring horrendously. You wouldn't have to run all the way to the truck. So we're gonna go anyway and see what happens. Like I said, I'm not going prepared or with the intention to buy anything. We'll see how it works out for us this time, but I don't know what to expect, but they definitely have a lot of interesting stuff, and it shows it's going to be 2 rings, so that's going to be confusing too, because then we can't watch everything at once. But we'll go see what we can accomplish. Friends, conditions are worsening. I have a feeling it's going to be miserable out there, but whatever. We're going to press on, try to make it happen. Get you some footage maybe. I don't know what they'll do, if they'll just park their truck under an awning and auction off the items one at a time and just, you know, where they are or how they're gonna do it, but we'll soon find out, I guess. We just gotta get there. Also, I got a weather alert that said, you know, if you're outdoors, you probably want to not be outdoors. So we're gonna do the right thing and go somewhere and stand outdoors. So sure, but I don't know. We've been through worse, I guess. We'll see what happens. Well, friends, I just got some interesting news from my friend who told me about this auction. He did some checking, and that little cockshut 20 is in fact the very same one that I wanted. Like, it is from the same guy. It is owned right now by the guy who bought it, who was bidding against me at the sale when it sold years ago, and now it's up for sale. So that's cool, because it is in fact the same tractor, and I thought it might be by looking at it. But that being said, I know what he paid for it last time, and if he's there and has a reserve on it, I'm probably not going to own it today, because I'm pretty sure he paid more than what I paid for that front wheel assist one back when he bought it. So I don't know, but I got the serial number of it now, so I guess I can keep track of it. Maybe I get a chance to buy it the next time it comes for sale, but I don't know. It's interesting how life works, you know, but that is neither here nor there. We'll see what happens. I'm looking out, sorry, I'm looking out the window at cows. There's a lot of cows out here to the side. But anywho's, we should be there shortly, and we'll see what goes down or what happens, and we'll see what kind of sale this is. You know, maybe this is a sale where nothing really sells because everybody will have a reserve on it. I don't know. You know, the last auction we went to was a little different, because all of that equipment was owned by that dealer, and it all sold with no reserve. Now, I'm sure that they had friends in the audience who were making sure that it didn't just bring nothing, but it definitely was going to sell that day. And this sale, I don't know that there's that kind of guarantee. It may be that half of the stuff they say, oh, doesn't, you know, doesn't meet the reserve, doesn't sell. I don't know. So time will tell, but we're gonna go and see what it's like. Well, we'll see how long we actually stay. I don't know. This is gonna be a pretty wet mess, but we'll figure it out. We got to find out where you get a number, and then find out what's happening. You know, are they auctioning inside a building or what? It's about maybe 20 minutes or so after it was supposed to start. So, whatever. We'll figure it out, friends. Well, I met a viewer. That was cool. We talked a while, and now the rain has kind of stopped a little bit. So I'm gonna walk out here and let's watch this Gale self-propelled forage harvester sell. That's another thing that if it went for nothing, I would probably buy it. But do we need it? No. It's just cool. Of course, now that I get out here, it'll start raining again hard, but whatever.
Lot number 288, lot number 289. Choice of the two DMIs, 288, 289. Any way you want to go. 500, 7.5. 500, 7.5. You got 7.5, Dilly. Forwards and Dilly, Jane. He could take them both. 1,000. 900, 1,000, 900, 900 on the board. You want to vote for that? I believe I would.
204, he wants the back one, 289.
900 bucks. Buyer number 204. He wants lot number which one, Billy?
289.
Lot number 289. Lot number 289. Thank you.
Good job, Billy.
Good job, Billy. Now we got 288, lot number 288, 500, 600. All right, hammer down, 750, 750, put it by number. The 1250 chopper, local farmer down the road just in Jennings County. Come from a good home, next to buy 35, 35, 500. Josh, your way, 1200, put it to buy number 121. Now, your John Deere back here. Your John Deere, I believe the deer, all this stuff, all the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces come out of the same stall. That chopper, any of these 4-inch heads or that chopper head will fit that John Deere back there. Should be lot number 127, lot 127, Deere 3970, 4035. 35, give it a 35, 35, 38 out of it, 1700, put the buy number 250. Now you're self-propelled right there. You're here and run. Lot number 153, 54, 60 chopper back there. 49, 89 hours over there, guys. Gauge, the air meter went out on it, tach went out on it, so it's actually probably around 5,000 hours on that self-propelled chopper right there. New batteries, radiator, had some work on it. Next thing to buy. Find the chopper, and then we'll choice these heads out. Find the self-propelled out of the money, $10,000. I told it $10,000, $10,000, put it by number 16890. What we ought to do, we got an online bidder. Let's just go right down the order, bro. Let's just do the 3-row chopper head. Lot number 121, back that out. Lot 121, 250 online, 500, 250, 500. On the 3-row head, 250, 500. 350 money comes to the number 500, I sold it 500. I sold it 500. Put it by number online. Put it by number 1984.
Didn't notice that yesterday, but that's a local Oliver dealer to this area where the sale's at. Interesting.
Faster than the first, and we'll pick up the 40. What is it? 188 Chabar, thank you. 188 Chabar. Now you got a pallet full of parts right there. Lot number 120, lot 120. 200, $100. Quarter, 125, 1 and a quarter, same buyer, buyer number 180, 88. Now your Gale 970, I know you can't see it online there. Pull up a little bit there, will you? That. Pull up a little bit. The Gale 970, we might be able to catch it on this other side. There we go. You can see a little bit of it. The Gale 970 should be lot number 16. We're at $2,000 on the line. 2,500. 20, sold at $5,500. Now you got your self-propelled right there. As a lot of you know, Randy Galt, Repo as they call him, passed away just a short while ago. We got some weights up here, some Moline fenders, and I tell you what, he said his brother Dan brought this up, lot number 452. The Gale Chop-All's got a Continental, I think it's got a Continental engine in it. It's not running. Next thing to buy. All right, $1,000, $500, $500, how much? 200, 300, if it can talk, 203. All the story, 3, 4, 4, 400, 500, 6,700, I sold it 600, 600, put it by number 9, ag bag 6,000, ag bag 6,000, lot number 1, 2, 3, lot 1, 2, 3, ag bagger right here, next thing to buy, yes sir. 8-foot bag, 225-foot cable. We got $2,000, 2,500, 20, lot number 396, Allis-Chalmers right there, 14-footer, 500, 7.5.
Okay, we're going to pretend to look at this combine so that we can sit in the cab out of the rain. Look at that. Very Agco-esque. The old familiar Oliver invention tilt or telescoping steering wheel. I mean, I don't know if they invented it. Maybe the steering wheel company was making that and Oliver just adopted it, but it's the same thing. But I like these as far as the cab goes on this combine. These R series. It's so roomy and you can see everything and everything's in good, like you can practically rest your arm on the armrest and run this. So pretty nice. This whole thing opens up here. I don't want to break it, but the cable's holding it back, I think. We did have a number of them that we worked on where we had to do something to the air box under the cab, because from the factory they left a hole and it would suck a bunch of trash up there, and I think we started putting plates over that hole and then nobody had any trouble anymore. So, but just very well laid out combine. I mean, nothing's really in your way, and even got a buddy seat. So yeah, what do we got here? Separator hours 3,095, engine hours 4616. Yep, same vintage as the 9650, so a lot of the same style gauges and what have you, same style switches. They must have had some fancy monitor here. I don't know what that would be, but sure. I'm gonna try to sit here as long as possible till somebody else wants to look. Then I'll move. I'll get out and film it when they get to that Ford truck and the 7580. How do they know that I don't want to buy this? You know? I would buy this if if I had a blank checkbook, yeah.
87,000 miles there, guys. It's in a drink truck. 500. We should be on lot number 444. 500, 7.5. 500. I sold it 1,500, Chicago, Illinois, 107.
I'd like to have one, but it's not today, you know. I've worked on a few of them.
7580 tractor. You're going to need to put some batteries in this bad boy. They dropped it off. We put the jump pack on it to get her to go. So I do know you're going to get a set. You're going to need to get a set of batteries. I do know this. Whoever buys the tractor, just let us know. The owner will bring the duals down. They just had time to bring the tractor down, but there is the duals that go with it. So keep that in mind. I do believe, is there a belt missing on that other side over there, Dilly Dilly? Maybe on this side, on the air conditioning unit. Okay, missing a belt on there. Somebody online had commented on that, so we wanted to make you aware. Your 7580 next unit to buy. 5,000 online, 5,000, $6,000. I sold it 7,500. Put it a buyer number. Brother owns this combine. He said, I'm done farming. He said, I didn't plant last year. He said, we just had too much moisture. Couldn't get her done, but he brought the combine in. He brought a couple other pieces in here today. Melvin, you spent quite a bit of money the last few years on this combine. He said we probably spent about $15,000 or $16,000 on it. The bracket that was had a bracket break the other day, he just spent about another $2,000 on it. So we got all the service records that are inside in there. We got the books inside. Gleaner combine should be lot number 479. 3,000, actually 4,615 engine hours on this thing. 39.5, 3,095 on the separator. But had a good home. Melvin said, I'm done farming. He said, so it's here today to sell. He said it's just got to go. R62, 25,000, 25, give me that, $20,000, $10,000, $5,000. Fellas, anyone use it? I don't think we're anywhere close here. Melvin, we're not anywhere close, are we? $5,000. $5,000. 7,500. 5,000. 7,500. Combine, 2 heads here today. 5,000 bid.
Oh.
$7,500. Men, if you need a machine, right here it is. 5,000. 7,500. 7,500. Give me that. 5,000 bid. 7,500. 7,500. Give me that. 5 bid. 75. 6,000. 6,000. Melvin. 6,000.
Oh my God.
7,000. 8,000. Columbus, Indiana. 8,000. Worst thing we've done today. $8,000.
That's true.
That was the bid. 8,000.
If I hadn't bought that front wheel assist cockshed, I would have bought
He
this.
said this combine will work. Spent a lot of money on it.
$6,000 for a combine and 2 heads. Man.
I sold it $7,000. $7,000.
Oh my gosh. Friends, that was a steal, I think. They just sold that combine and they can't hardly give those heads away. That was a nice combine that somebody's gonna have for under 10,000 bucks. And if I hadn't spent a bunch of money on a front wheel assist cockshed, I probably would have bought that today, because that was a screaming deal, you know. I probably should have bought it anyway and figured it out later.
41.5. I sold it, got a good home. 41.250, 41.250. Put it by number 7080. Should be lot number 102. Lot number 102, 7080. Next thing to buy. This one come from where that Case IH Nutriplacer come from. A couple other pieces in here today. It's had a good home. 7080 tractor. Next thing to buy. Lot number 102. 10 grand, $9,000. $6,000. You got 4, bro. 5,000 at a time. 40, 500, 45, 45, not $5,000. 250. I sold it $6,000. This was a late arrival, come from around Hope, Indiana over there. 40 horsepower, 90. Yeah, no, it's a little bit more than that. Close to 90 in there, bro. Yeah. 90 horse. I got the front loader. Good tractor, had a good home, good rubber on it. Front loader, good at all. 35. They just bought another one. They upgraded. 35. 30. 30,000. We got rounded up, bro. 30, 25, 20,000.
Yeah.
25. 20 bid. 25. 20, 28, Timothy. 28, I sold it, bro. 28,000. Put it by number. Lot number 354. Lot number 354. These next two tractors came out of the same home there. They brought a couple more pieces in here today. 84 John Deere. It's showing about, I don't know how many hours is on that tractor. We don't have any. You couldn't read it. That's why, dilly. Next here to buy 15, whatever you want it to be, it'll be that. 500, 87.5, 87.5. I sold it 8,500. Jackson, Tennessee bound. Put it by number. Different story here, Stevie.
Yeah.
Are you 40/20? Oh, yes, sir. 40/20 lovers. There's side console on this bad boy. Side console, 40/20 there.
Yep.
Diesel ride wide front, the right one there, guys. Number 1, baby. Lot number 293, we got 8,500 on 9, $9,000. Sold at $11,000. 11,000, you're late. 11,000, entered, it's late. Put it by number 30. Forward 5,000 right here. Yes, sir. Forward 5,000. Gas right here. Dilly, this could be you. 6,005. 5,000. Lot number 3. 90 bond. 5,000. 3,000. Rambo. 3. Now 3. 2,000. 2,000. 1,500.
28.
I sold it 2,700. Put it by number. Oh, Massey, 458 coming at you.
I have a front loader for it at the shop. If they want to wait till Monday to pick it up, the loader can go with it.
Dilly said we got the front loader at the shop down there. He said if you want to wait till Monday, you can get it all together. Massey 231, next Shangri to buy. Lot 4, 58, 10,000, 500. 90, where you got rounded up. 5,000, 3 bid, 35. 30, 500, Can we sell it at 4,000 hours? Sell it 4,000, put it at buyer number. Little cock shut and that little plow that come from the same stall. Should be lot number 199. Lot number 199, a nice little tractor right there. Cock shut 20. Next year to buy. 5 grand. 4,000. 35. 30. I'm a collector ride. 35. 1,000. 2.5. 2,000. drive a lot of miles, you won't find one as nice as this. 37, 50, 4,000 Logan. Come on now. What are you going to do? I sold it your way, 37.50.
All right, friends, we're gonna call this a day. I'm not gonna stay anymore. That little tractor's the only reason I really came to look and watch, and I was pretty confident that I wasn't gonna get it, but I am glad to know where it went. I went up and talked to the guy who won, and he's a good guy. And our new viewer friend Travis, because he subscribed to the channel right then and there while we were talking, and he's got the whole series of cockshuts, and that was the one that he was missing. And he's looked for 20 years, I guess. He said he even drove to Canada trying to find a nice cockshut 20 to add to his collection. He's even got the 35 deluxes and all those things. So if it had to go somewhere, I'm glad it went to him. And I know he told me we exchanged numbers and that, so I told him if he ever does want to sell it, let me know. And but I think it's in a good home, so that's pretty cool. I honestly didn't think it would sell today, because I know what, like I said, the guy who bought it the last time I bid on it, I want to say he paid $6,500 or $6,800, and that's been 20 years ago maybe. But anyway, I thought that, I don't know, I thought that it was a very fair price what it brought today, and I'm glad I quit so that I wasn't just running him up. He had his friend and I were talking, and he came specifically to buy that tractor, and his budget for today was a lot more than mine, so he was going to get it no matter what. And I'm glad that I didn't just keep going to, you know, run it up on him, because that would have been pointless. So I think he got a good deal on it. I would say average price of those these days is around $4,000, $4,500 for a cockshut 20 from the ones I've seen sell. I've seen some sell for a lot less, and I've seen some sell for a lot more. So anyway, that's okay. It was just a day to go out and enjoy the auction. So the answer to the question, what did I buy today? I bought 2 hot dogs and a can of pop. So, you know, and I only bought the can of pop because I didn't want to walk all the way back out here to get the ones that I had brought with me, because I forgot to put them in my pocket when I started out. So anywho's, we're gonna call this one here. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, and tell me how dumb you think I am. Or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.